Hello, everypony! Can you believe it? We actually made it to 2,000 subs. Honestly, I'm a little surprised. Not that I didn't think I would get this far, but just how much, well, technically, how fast this happened. It actually kind of feels like only a week ago I was at 1,000. So I thank all of you for all of your support. Now, as you saw in the thumbnail for this is going to be a Q&A and live reading. Well, uncut reading, actually. I was going to do just a Q&A for this, but I did not really get a lot of questions, so I figured, why not put something else in the mix with this, huh? So, starting with the Q&A, I have a few questions. Question number 1 is, am I going to read any more of Israel Yabuki's waifu stories, or any of Brony Headbanger's stories? Well, I do have a story for Israel Yabuki that I haven't touched yet, but it is pending. So eventually I will release it. And as for Brony Headbangers, I don't believe I've read any of their stories. Actually, I don't think I've heard of that person just yet. So it'll be nice to check out what they have. Question 2 is, would I ever do voice acting or narrate stories with Lost Narrator or Wooten? Well, given my difficult situation in terms of recording, as I can never predict how street noise outside will go, I would love to record stories with either one of them, or both of them actually. But I don't know how good that would turn out. Losty, yeah, I might enjoy recording stories with her. It is actually fun. She's just so free. And as for Wooten, well, I think he's a lot lewder than any of the Klops that I've ever read, so there's a whole lot of scenarios that could come out of that situation. Stuff I really should not touch. But like I said, I would love to record stories with either one of them, either as a narrator or as a voice actor. It would actually be fun. Moving on, question 3 is, who is my favorite pony? That's actually a tough question. Geez, that's like asking me to choose who's my actual best friend. Yikes. Well, for right now, since my list, I guess, kind of changes, I would kind of have to go with Maud. I mean, she's so quiet she can sneak up on you, yeah, and I tend to do that to some of my friends, actually. Her monotone voice is actually kind of comforting. Oh no, I just had an idea. Either I could do it, or I'll look around for it. Ooh, someone do ASMR in Maud voice. I don't know if that'll be soothing or creepy, but I kind of want to hear it, actually. Stupid noise. Anyway. Question 4. Do I think there will be a Generation 5? Well, I have heard a lot of talk that with Season 8, I believe we're coming up on the mid-season finale? Or, wait, I should pass by now. Sorry. I did hear talk that Generation 4 is gonna get the rest of Season 8 and then a whole Season 9. But then after that, they're completely revamping the whole show for a Generation 5. And I have seen circulation of the artwork for Generation 5 for the main 6. So, to answer the question, yes, I do think there will be a Generation 5. though where it's gonna go is anyone's guess at this point, as well as how they're gonna do the animation style. I believe Generation 4 was done with Flash animation. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. So maybe Generation 5 will be done in the same way, or use a different animation style from Gen 4 as well as Gens 1 through 3. They could probably revisit Toon Boom like they did for the movie. That might be interesting to see the show in that style. A bit more vibrant. It's also kind of rubbery, but you know, who's complaining? It's a little more vibrant, and plus the details in the eyes was kind of mesmerizing. Question 5 was, what do I think of Starlight Glimmer? Well, I think she's come a long way, actually. I mean, at first when we saw her, I didn't really know what to think of her, except that she was the scaled down version of Pony Hitler. I mean, taking everyone's cutie mark so everyone can have the same one and no one can be special, that was actually, wow. I never thought I would ever see something like that happen. And then for her to come back and try ruining the friendship between the main 6 so that they never became friends at all. Only after, with Twilight's help, she does complete 180, and now we have her as she is now. I gotta say, I like Starlight as she is now. And I gotta admit, the Equestria Girls version of her is pretty cute too. Pretty naive, but hey, that's how Twilight was when she first came to that alternate universe. But like I said, yes, I do like Starlight right about now. Especially the episode we got of her and Sunburst going back home and having to deal with their parents. Oh, so that episode was actually kind of predictable, but it still made you think. And it made me appreciate my parents a little bit more. The next question is, for the story Rarity the Cheerleader, is Rarity also an Anthro barefoot? Well, yeah, I would think so, actually. Considering she did not use her horn to put those panties on. Yeah, she used her hands. She was an Anthro. So, yeah, I would think she's an Anthro barefoot. I mean, they didn't exactly mention anything about her feet, but I would think so. And the last question, that's a little, wow, bit personal. Though I guess you're talking about my character and not in real life. When did I have my first experience besides my Blooming Moon story? Well, if you're talking about Lotus the character and not Lotus as a real person, honestly, Blooming Moon was my first attempt at a clop. So, yeah, for my character, that would be her first time, basically. Not gonna go any further than that. I plead the 5th. There are 2 more questions that actually have popped up, though they weren't from any of you, at least on my side. No. This is on the side of Sectus the Changeling. The first question that popped up on her side is, some of the readings that I voiced in over on her channel, I believe some of you have asked, why are they not in my channel? I mean, the story's primarily about me, actually. The one where, if you haven't heard, all 3 of my OC get into a very heated situation. And then one between Lily and Sectus having a nice little romp in Midnight's room. Well, to answer that question actually, the reason why they are not on my channel is because even though I did read them, I was not requested to read them. Sectus was requested to read them, but she passed them along to me, and I either read the whole thing or I helped voice in it. So that answers one. And I am doing a few other readings on her channel as well. So be sure to check those out, actually. And the next question was, are Sectus and I dating? Well, to answer the question, yes, in a way. To those of you who have been around for a while, you do know that I have my cult friend Sephiroth. And actually, our anniversary is coming up for this year pretty soon. While I do have him, Sectus and I are also in love, and it's by no means cheating. Sephiroth and I have an understanding on this, and he accepts this. So it's not cheating if he knows. It's simply broadening our horizon in terms of the dating aspect. And I'm not going into any more questions, or rather, any more details for that question, actually. But you all have your answer. I do wish there were more questions, but there weren't. But I'm happy for what I got, so no harm, no foul. And now time for the second portion of this little number. To celebrate me reaching 2K, there is a new story I decided to read. This story is called Ethical Quandaries. I actually do hope I'm saying that word right. I know for a fact the author's name I definitely can't pronounce. I'm definitely going to put it on the screen, because I know for a fact I'm going to butcher it. The author's name is Majin Sayeko? I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a random slice of life story set in the Equestria Girls universe, and it's just a conversation between Sunset and Starlight. And the title of the chapter is These Things Are Important to Ponder. So I do hope you enjoyed everypony. Also, given how it ended, it might be funny, but in between that, oh, it's anyone's guess. But without further ado, Sunset Shimmer cupped her hands over her mouth, exhaled deeply, and glared at Starlight, who was currently looking at Sunset with honest confusion while eating a muffin they purchased at the mall they were currently frequenting. Starlight, you can't just kill people. Oh, also, sorry, I'm not completely good with Sunset's voice, and I'm barely good with Starlight's voice. So if it doesn't come across completely almost like them, I deeply apologize. Anyway, Starlight took a delicate bite of her muffin, her body adjusting to the metal seating arrangements in the food court. Why not? She asked as she looked around. And it's not like I haven't done it before. I was just asking. Sunset clenched her jaw and her fist simultaneously. Why would you even ask that? She gnarled. Why is that a logical question to ask for you? Starlight looked up. Now you're making the question complicated. I really wished I lived on a quiet street. Oh. Constantly dealing with horns is a headache, even at night. She presented her palm while taking another bite of the muffin. Ugh. You're assigning logic to what could be argued to be inherently irrational. Wait, what? Wait, wait. You're assigning logic to what could be argued to be inherently irrational. Neuronal? What? Neuronal fire. Oh, like neurons in your brain firing and everything. Neuronal. I never heard that word before, but whatever. Neuronal firings that are justified ad hoc. What? What the heck is that word? Ad hoc in a futile attempt to bring meaning to a fundamentally animalistic and meaningless. Starlight Glimmer, I will slap you in the mouth, Sunset said through her clenched teeth, as she pointed an accusing finger at Starlight, who slightly recoiled at the vigorous finger pointing. Hey now, Starlight said before a nervous chuckle. Ugh. I wasn't the only one who brought logic into this. Wait. I had too much sugar. Anyway, her gaze danced between the muffin and Sunset's very angry face. If you want to ask why I queried about whether or not killing is permanent here, that's fine. However, she continued as she took another bite of her muffin, sorry, too much saliva. If you want to travel down that philosophical portal, Sunset slammed the table with an open palm, which jolted Starlight's attention and caused her to gulp her muffin bite. Focus! She then leaned back into her own chair, put a fist on the bridge of her nose, then took a deep breath. I want to know what led you to ask if murder is if murder is permitted here. Why do we even have cars? Why do we have cars if people don't know how to drive? You know what? It's not the fact that people don't know how to drive. It's the fact that people like to sit on their phone the whole time behind the damn wheel. If we just took away the phones, then maybe there will be less accidents. And maybe there would be less horns. And maybe people will actually pay attention when they're driving. Is that so hard? Just put the damn phones down, people, and just look where you're going! Oh no, Starlight said as she wagged her finger. I'm not falling into that trap again. What trap? Sunset growled. Murder is a legal definition assigned by a court of law. Starlight. Starlight rubbed her forehead. Killing is something completely different. She set her muffin down and stared dead on at Sunset. Whether or not killing is considered murder involves a healthy, legitimate, I never saw this word spelled out. A healthy litigation process and a jury of my peers. Starlight then smirked. I am perfectly aware murder is not permitted, which is why I asked about killing. Sunset looked at Starlight, her chest expanding and contracting as she licked her teeth. Starlight had a look on her face that suggested that she had won. What she won was up for debate. Are you messing with me? Sunset asked. Starlight pursed her lips and grabbed her muffin. What do you mean? Sunset rubbed her hands together. Are you seriously suggesting that there is a legitimate difference between killing people out of pure whimsy and murder. Legally, there is. Sweet Celestia, I'm going to kill you. Sunset said as she looked away and cradled her chin. Starlight raised an eyebrow as she took another bite. So, Starlight asked, her mouth full. Does that mean it's okay, or... Sunset activated her amulet. I need to check something. Cat, stop! Mitten, sweetie. I'm gonna stick you in a drawer. Stop it! Why did I get a cat again? Papa Moon told me I shouldn't get it. We don't really have the space for it, but no, I insisted on getting a cat. And now I'm stuck with it living in my room. This feline just won't leave. My only peaceful time is when he's asleep. And that's all day. At night he'll keep me up. Why does Karma hate me so much? The cosmic universe has its own way of torturing me. I don't need this feline torturing me too. I need to check something. By all means. Starlight swallowed the masticated... What the heck? Masticated? Can't you just say the chewed up muffin bite? Like, really? Why use words? Why use big words like this? Really? Never mind. The masticated muffin bite. As Sunset touched her skin, the latter's eyes going white for a second. After a moment, Sunset's eyes regained their color. She paused for a moment, then eased back into her seat, her breathing now even. She rubbed her forehead as Starlight took another bite of her muffin. Starlight bit her lip. So how was that deep dive you did there? Well, Sunset said. Well, Sunset rubbed her face. The people on this side of the portal are real and aren't constructs of your mind. Starlight's eyes popped open as she swiveled her head around. What? Yeah. Sunset waved her hand around. This is all as real as Equestria. How is that possible? Starlight fired off as she put her muffin down, her face creasing. I mean, I never... Oh, that shriek from earlier. My voice is kind of hitting it. Ugh. Anyway, she trailed off before locking eyes with Sunset. I faced on a 10-foot monster without magic, and it was real. She scratched her head under her beanie. I just felt so disconnected, and clothes popped on, and I got to be the hero, and what? Sunset asked calmly. Starlight started shaking. I thought this was some kind of fun-time fantasy land. I mean, there's analogs to everyone I know. How is this real? She said as she punctuated her words with table slamming, attracting the attention of passers-by, which grabbed her attention. Starlight, calm down. You're attracting attention. Sunset rubbed her wrist. By the way, but what is real anyway? What do you mean? Starlight asked, like a suddenly naked person. I mean, who knows if any of this is real? Sunset asked as she leaned onto the table. Who says... Wait... Who's to say that some outside force isn't feeding signals into our brains as we're strapped into arcane brain messaging devices? Sunset cocked her head as Starlight presented a nervous grin. Starlight giggled. I'm drawing up a preliminary design for one right now. Sunset pressed her lips together. So maybe traveling through the portal transported you to a future where you perfected this device, yes? Starlight exhaled, then regained her posture. And I'm... well... darn it. And since I'm wearing... And since I'm weaving ethical limitations into it, killing someone except in specific circumstances would cause the simulation to malfunction. Sure. Sunset grinned. And... Starlight raised a finger. If I disrupt the simulation, we wouldn't get to hang out. Sunset leaned back and smiled. Whatever works for you. You know, Sunset, Starlight said as she picked up her muffin and took a large bite. You're the best simulated friend I could ever have. You know, I can't say I've ever heard that one before. Sunset said with a chuckle. But I can accept it. Good, Starlight said with her mouth full. Because if you didn't, I might have to abort the simulation. Sunset hummed contentedly. Great pony feathers, Sunset thought. This mare is absolutely bonkers. And that concludes the reading. Well, that was actually kind of funny. Along with all my own mistakes and everything. But I do hope you enjoyed it, everypony. And like I said, I'm not really good at Starlight's voice or Sunset's voice, really. But I am doing my best. Aside from all that, I do hope you look forward to all of my new stories that are to come. And, well, I do still need some female voices for Month Macabre. Like, it's kind of been started, but we're... oh, goodness. OCD's kicking in badly, and, yeah, you really don't want to see me as bad as I am on it. What else? Like I said, I do need some more female voices, and, we did start, like I said, we're just a little far behind. Well, not far, but we are a little behind. Though we are moving at a good pace. So, honestly, really, things might be turning out kind of fine. But aside from all that, I do want to say that, of course, Midnight will be coming back with something of her own eventually. We still haven't found the files that were misplaced. But she is coming up with some new stuff, hopefully. She's been locked in her room for the past week now, anyway. So maybe she is coming up with some stuff. And as for Lily, well, I think I heard something of her recording, but I don't really know. I think she was probably just more murmuring to herself. And she's possibly still been doing some more experiments, given the smells that's been coming out of her room. Stupid sirens. Anyway, given the smells that's been coming out of Lily's room, which I had to put a magical force field on because some of them were downright putrid, and some could have been quite toxic. Air filtration spells are the best. She may be coming back soon, though it's anyone's guess as What in the world was that? Where did the explosion come from? Oh, sweet, naive little Lotus.
You kept me in the shadows all this time. You really think I'm going to just sit by now and let you have all the fun? Here you've reached a new milestone, yet you've had all the spotlight. I think it's time I take over for a little.
Lily, what have you done? I've told you about doing anything in this realm that causes an explosion like that. The last time you did it, you nearly singed my tail off, as well as my mane. Wait a minute. Are you really doing all this just to take over? You're insane. Lily, I was going to let you take over anyway. No one's heard from you in a while, and I think they're getting worried. But you don't have to do it by force.
Now, Lotus, don't be mean. After all, we ought to share this. We are in this together, after all. Why don't you sit back and let me take over things for a little while?
Lily, don't you dare interrupt this video. I'm hardly done yet. I mean, yes, I may be babbling, but Lily, don't. No, Lily, don't you touch that. No, Lily!
And that takes care of that. Hello, everypony. Have you missed me? I definitely have missed all of you. To those of you who don't know, my name is Lily. Lotus's darker half. I haven't had much time out in the spotlight lately, but that's all going to change. I have a few stories for you already. I know you've all missed your sweet nightmares. And it's time that you get them back. So sit back and relax, my pretties, because it's time to give you those nightmares again.